Ready? I just asked that. Are you ready? Like, what do you say? No. You better be. Let's go. Up, up, up and at 'em. This is Pure Strength. I'm Ron. We are going to start out with squats. Feet like this, butt back, knees over the laces of the shoes, roll the hips, push up. That's it. Down, underneath, and drive up. Come on down, get the arms up, roll the shoulder blades back, get that weight into the heels, roll underneath, and bring the arms up. One more time this way, down, shallow squat, but you're getting a little deeper now as you're going into it. Pushing up, arms up overhead, feet come apart just a little bit. We're going to go into another one of those squats. Knees, toes forward, knees over the laces of the shoes, roll the hips, pushing up to the back half of the foot, arms up over the top. Let's do it again. Down, roll, and drive the hips up, squeeze the glutes at the same time. One more time. And roll it up. And up it comes. Arm circles. Get the legs going while you're doing this. Small circles going back and back. Getting a little bigger. Getting the shoulders warmed up a little bit before you start putting a load on them. And around. Palms up on the way up, down on the way down. And opposite direction going forward this time. Same thing. Up and down, going as big of circles as is right for you. Don't go over that because that'll just hurt. Take it right to the edge. Get as much rotation through there, as much stretch, as much movement, flexibility through that shoulder socket. Shake that out. Skaters around here and just arm swings with it. Cross the chest and back. Don't turn the hips. Don't do that. Just bring that foot behind you. Arms across, hips stay forward and back. Knee stays over the ankle on that front leg. Back and come across the front, shoulder blades back and to the middle. Stay with this. Go into the skater, bring the arm up over the top. Little side bend, just a little. Foot out to the outside and other side up and over. And bring it back. So other side, foot back, over the top, doing a side bend, coming back. That foot that was behind goes out to the side. Bring this arm over the top. Opposite direction, reach out. And one more time. Back in that skater. Over the top. I've been practicing this one today. And reach across as you step that leg out. Last one. Foot behind. Coming into that rear leg, going into that skater, and then stepping out into a wide squat or wide stance, and then reach overhead and bring it down. That's kind of fun. Elbows together. One side out. Roll the shoulder blade back. Open up the chest. And in. Same on the other side. Feel the shoulder blade working to pull. Pull that arm around, not letting the torso go with it. Both of them out. Squeeze the shoulder blades back. We're going to go up overhead into a military press. Reach. Bring it back down again. Elbows together. Push up. Narrow press right up the middle. And back down. Elbows out. Shoulder blades back. Reach up overhead. Those universal joints of the shoulders, we're trying to work them universally. All over the place. Up, down, side to side, front to back. And bring the arms down. Shake that out. Back we go. Reverse lunge, step it, and bring it in. Step back, weight shift. Knee stays over the ankle on the front leg. You go into that back leg. Bring the arms up overhead. Reach back as far as you can. And coming in, feet together, going into a skier. Arms back as far as they'll go. We're going to step back on the other leg, going into that reverse again. And swing up, swing back. And down and out. One more time. Step it back, arms up over the top. Get the chest out, weight into that back leg. Bring it in and arms out. And other side. Step back, over the top. And bring it back in again. Next, we are doing 4 lateral steps. Starting out, 2, 3, 4. Leg up, balance on that single leg. Shift your weight over the stationary leg, out and out. So step, 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 right there, back again. Add to this as you step in, reach up and over. And back the other way for step, 3. And reach, feel the stretch all the way up the side. Fingertips down to the hips. 1, 2, 3. Arm up, reach it out. And 1, 2, 3. Step out, add to this right here. Knee up, elbow down. We go back. 1, 2, 3. In, overhead, leg comes up, knee goes out, squeezing these muscles on the outside of the core, balancing on that other leg. Oops, right there we go. Up and down. See, talking and thinking just doesn't work for me. Up and across, back, 2, 3. Reach, roll, and down. That was a new one. I just enjoyed that one. All right, heel digs right there. Up front. Foot goes out, you don't. So it's not coming out over that heel, lifting up, tap, balancing on that single leg as you bring it back in. I'm going to throw a reverse fly on here. So shoulders back, chest open, forward with that other leg. When you come forward with the heel, you also roll the shoulders forward, squeezing in a circle there, and back. Palms out, elbows out as far as you can get them, squeezing those shoulder blades together. Here we are stretching the upper back. Deep breath in, exhale. Breath in, one more time. Out, get as much stretch as you can. You want to feel it all the way from the middle of the back, through the arms to the fingertips. And here, all the way fingertips through the chest. Last one. Forward. And back again. Legs out wide. Into a hip hinge. So starting out with just the hip hinge. Hands on the thighs, shoulder blades back, chest out, keeping that straight line from the back of the head to the tailbone. It's a straight line. It doesn't drop down. Shoulders don't go forward, head doesn't go chin to chest because you got that tennis ball in there holding it. All right, again, down, straight back, get the butt back, feel the stretch in the hamstrings, back of the thighs, right back there. And squeeze the glutes, squeeze the thighs, pushing the hips forward. Back again. And squeeze going up. Arms out to the side. As you go down, roll the shoulder blades back. Deep as you can get them. Deep breath in and exhale as you bring the hips in. 2 more times down. Butt right straight back. Shoulders are out. Arms are reaching on this one. Big condor here. You got that big wingspan. And bring it back up. 1 more time. Down. Out. Butt back. Deep breath in, stomach out. Exhale as you come up. This time you're going down to that hip hinge again and bringing one arm up. So be really careful on this one, not to let the chin come down to the chest or to turn the torso. It's just going to strain the lower back. Just bringing that arm up. You can roll the shoulders a little bit, but not a lot. Feet stay flat on the floor. Knees stay pointed right straight forward. Take that hand, put it on the inside of that opposite thigh to help keep you from turning. Roll the shoulder up. Great stretch through the chest. Now we're going to get the torso involved. Stand up. 1 more time down. Taking that right hand inside the right knee and bringing that other arm up. Turn the torso, feet flat on the floor. So you don't want to turn anything but that back, and it has to be in neutral as you do it. Other side up. Remember, spine does one thing. We're rotating it, so we want to keep it straight, top to bottom. In neutral, bring it back in, and bring it back up. We're doing a good warm-up, getting a lot of joints in here because we're going to be doing a full body workout today. So all weights, all the way through. Pick the foot up, go back, opening up the hip and around. Get to that other side, same thing. Bring it up and around. Tap, back to front. 1 more time on this side, up and around. Tap the toe. How high you go doesn't matter. What matters is that you're getting that rotation through that hip socket, not letting, go back to the other side, not letting the hips turn as you do this, keeping yourself straight, foot's flat on the floor on that stance leg, up and back, tap, and forward. All you want is that rotation. That's the important piece. up and out, bring it in, and the other way, foot out front. We're just going to do rotation of the foot, side to side. Again, different rotation through that hip joint, another universal joint. We want working in all directions. Back, more flexibility we have in there. The warmer those muscles are, the more fluid you're going to get in that joint, the more movement you'll have in it. Not just for working out, but for all the time. Out, same thing on the other side. Foot out and back. Feel the muscles working all the way around that hip. Stretching out on the inside, stretching out on the outside, feeling the muscles engage to pull that foot out, turn that leg, knee and toe stay in the same direction as you're doing this. Back and up. Heels up to the butt. Like that will go. Shoulder blades back, squeeze them together. And back. Let's do little arm circles while we're here doing this. We haven't done that yet, shoulder circles. We did arm circles, but just the shoulders, bent elbows, bringing that heel up to the butt, taking your time. Change direction on the arms. This is like walking and chewing gum. I'm having a lot of problems with it. Too many directions, too many things. And around and around. That's good. You ready? Let's get our weights. Grab a drink of water before you start. And we'll be good to go. Let's get the show on the road. All right. So this is just a lot of really basic strength exercises. Nothing real outrageous, not a lot of upper and lower body at the same time. Kind of trying to keep it with just one plane on most of it, protecting the joints, keeping everything so that you don't get hurt. All right, first thing we're doing, palms in, going into a curl. Shoulder blades are back, chest is out, arms at the sides. We're going to do a rotation up to the top. I'm really into this one. So hands are facing here. You're going to feel the muscles working on the outside, those outer biceps muscles. To this outside, rolling the shoulders back, the shoulder blades working, and back down again. It's an arc. Keep your body upright. I really want to stress this. Don't let yourself swing front to back. This is all happening in the elbow, around, and back down. Even the shoulders don't move front to back. 5 seconds, we start. You ready? Here we go. Up. Keep a little bend in those knees. Flatten out on the top. Don't let them stay up. Turn them down. You're going to feel the muscles working outside on that arm. Up. So you feel it going into the outside of the shoulder as you make that rotation. Get them flat. Make those muscles work just a little bit more. Get yourself a little more range of motion. Out. Strengthen up muscles that we otherwise don't hit. And the more strength we can have, the more muscle we have with some decent density to it. Keeping those muscles dense and strong. Out, the better off we are, the more protected the bones are. Bring it up. Rotate out. And back down. Taking your time, not going all the way to the bottom. Coming up at the top. Elbows are at 90. Roll them out. And bring them down. One more time. Up. Out. In. And down. That was the biceps. We're going to the triceps. One weight down, one to go. Single weight. You can do two weights if you want. You can take two hands. We're going to do triceps extensions. If you want to put a weight in both hands, that's fine. I like using a single weight because it really helps me to get those elbows in. So we want elbows in and towards the ceiling as much as we can as we do this exercise. Elbows don't move in or out. We're not moving those shoulders at all. We want just those elbows to hinge. Just like on the biceps, now we're working the back of the upper arm to lift that weight up. If you are ready, elbows up, elbows in, and out. So it's a lot harder when you work those chest muscles to hold the elbows in toward the head, toward the ears, down. It adds a whole nother dimension to this as well. Triceps get hit really well on this one as you come up, but so does the chest. Shoulders too. Down and up. So you don't come all the way up on top. Elbows stay pointed to the ceiling. So the arms are only going to come up about 45 degrees right there. Quarter of the way to the top and then right back down again, or 135, whatever it is. Down. Fitness instructor, not mathematician. Up and back down. 5 seconds. Last one. Over the top and back down. Bring the arms down. So when I use 2 weights, I don't have that ability. So I think I'm actually getting more out of using the single weight and making sure that I have the right form. I feel it going up the back of the arm into the shoulder and coming into the very outsides of the chest. 2 fingers, 2 weights, 2 weights, 2 weights. What are we doing next? Side arm raises. These things, we're going to make sure that we got the shoulder blades back. Remember, modification is bending the elbow where you want to go. You can use both, and if you do, and you want to do this instead to give one arm a break, go for it. Key on this one, when you come down, if you're holding one arm in idle down there, don't let it go all the way down. Don't let it hang. Hold it up just a little bit. So you're still getting those muscles tensed up, holding that weight up, just not as much as if you were to pull it all the way out to the side. All kinds of good modifications. You ready? Knees bent, shoulder blades back, bring it up. Arms parallel with the floor and back down. I can't stress enough, shoulder blades have to stay back so you don't pinch the front of that shoulder. And back down, plus posture muscles, remember that? Every exercise is a posture exercise. As long as you keep those shoulder blades back, the more you can do to strengthen that up, the more you're going to stand upright. You don't have to worry about walking around like Tim Conway and Carol Burnett. And back down. Okay, that goes back. Little bend in the knees, arms up. And back down. Don't go all the way to the bottom. We're going to do 2 more. Hold it. And back down. Last one. Up. And back down. Remember, you always stay at the end of range of motion. Hold for just a count when you're up there before you come down. And then work against gravity. Use it to help you have to work just a little bit harder. Single weight. Set one down. We're going to go into a row. So stagger step. Coming out, hip hinge. Feet are parallel first. Hip hinge, butt back. And knee stays over the ankle on the front. So when you're pushing down on that front leg, because you're putting the weight there, you don't want it going into the toe because that comes through the knee. You want to push the weight into the heel so you're using the back chain there. Arm out front, you got a little bit of an angle on it. Elbow back, squeeze, roll the shoulder blade back behind and out again. If that doesn't work for your shoulder, this is hard. If bringing that elbow around and rolling those shoulders back really hurts, don't do it. You want the shoulder blades back, just bring that elbow back, straight back and out. You're still working the muscles you want. You're just not getting that little extra at the end, but you don't need it if it's going to cause you pain. You ready? Let's go. Up. Back stays straight as you do this. Make it a little harder by going into more of a hip hinge. Go down a little deeper into it. Don't let the torso twist as you're doing this, so you don't want to come around. That's really hard on the back. Felt it. And back. The other thing is, it's really easy to do when you bring this up to kind of that knee collapses. Work those muscles in the leg constantly, keeping that alignment. It's best for the joints by a long shot, but it also strengthens up the muscles so you're always in that alignment. You don't have to really think about it. Body will go right there. Around, squeeze, and out. Last one, and release. You should feel that right back here, glutes, hamstrings, from being in this single leg. A lot of people have problems with this, coming out into that hip hinge over the front leg. See what you can do. Just experiment with getting out there a ways, pushing down into the heel. All right, ready? We had our break. It's time. And out. If your shoulders are twisting, hand on the thigh so that they don't. Push on that thigh, driving that shoulder back. If you don't need it, don't use it. Just makes the muscles in the core have to work a little bit harder to keep you from twisting. But if you can't stop the twist, push on the knee. And back. Make sure that front leg's staying straight. Knees over ankle. Really important on this one. It's really easy to let yourself go down and the shoulders go down. Keep the shoulder blades back. A little curve in the lower half of the back. And down, 10 seconds. 2 more. Out. And in, last one. Extend. And back in again. We're good. A couple more exercises and we get a break. Next one is going to be a deadlift. Just a plain old deadlift. It's a hip hinge. Shoulder blades are back, chest is out. Butt goes back. You know the score. Weights come to the knees, and then you push the butt out, keeping the shoulder blades back. There's no reason to go down lower than that. The work happens here in the back of the legs and in the glutes, and that's by getting that butt back as far as you can, feeling those muscles stretch in the back of the thighs, and then heels into the floor, knees don't move. They stay right over the ankles all the way up. All the work happens in the hips. So it's not how low you can go, it's how far back you can get the butt. You ready? Down. Squeeze, bring it up. I bring the toes off the floor when I do this. Not sure why. Let's try it the other way. Shoulder blades back and squeeze. So I really work on keeping those knees back. There's all kinds of work happening in the back of the legs to not let the knees go forward as I come up. Up. And pull it in. Whew. That's a lot harder. I'm going to keep the toes on the floor. Grip the floor with the toes and up. Down. Butt back. And squeeze. Keeping the feet flat on the floor. Look what I'm learning. Down. 10 seconds. I think we can do 2 more after this one. Squeeze. Bring it up. Nope. 1 more. Take it down as far as you can get. And up. Shake that out. We're going to do a Zotman curl. So this works the forearms a little better. Shake that out. All right. You can feel that in the front. That was a lot different. So, and I'm always experimenting. My toes always came up. I put them back down on the floor, flat. It's fun when you do these exercises. Just try different things. See what works. Maintain posture, but just try legs apart just a little bit more. You know, going down, pushing the butt back a little bit farther. All right. Next one, Zotman curl. Palms up on the way up, just like our rotation. Our arm circles. Down on the way down. This is a good forearm exercise. So we're working front of the upper arms, those biceps as we come up, rolling it over. Go as far as you can with this. See if you can get those weights parallel to the floor. Man, we can really work range of motion on strength exercises. If we don't, we get those muscles really tight without being able to turn them, without being able to get that full rotation. For any of the exercises, people who are big and bulky usually have very little mobility. It's so important to do strength exercises and stretching exercises. But when you do the strength exercises, you want full rotation. You really want to be thinking about going to the end of that range and then coming back down again. Elbows in. When I first started this, when I rolled the arms over, hands down, my elbows always went out. I really had to work on the chest to start bringing those elbows in. Up, over, and down. Last one. Palms forward. Bring it up. Stop. 3/4 of the way up. Roll over and go down. Biceps are still working. Even when you're doing that Zotman with the palms down, you're still working the biceps, but now you got the forearms and the hand strength involved. Grip strength. One last one. Going into a stagger, we're going to do a triceps kick back, over that front leg again. I'm going to use the other one. Even it out. So we're doing that hip hinge, knee over the ankles, shoulder blades are back, elbows all the way back, as far back as you can get them, as high as you can get them, and keeping them in. Again, don't let them go out to the sides. Keep them in. Let me show that this way. Not like that, like that. Chest out. You ready? Kick. Back. Don't lock the elbows out. Keep the shoulder blades back. And don't go all the way down. Bring it up. I see this a lot, swinging out and back. Stop, just coming down a little bit and right back up again. Feel those muscles tighten up in the back of the upper arms and back down, up, squeeze, and back. The other thing you don't want to do is as you come up is let the weights roll in. Really bad for the wrists. Up. And it makes the exercise easier, which you don't want. Out. Make sure you're not in the toes on that front leg. Want to make it a little harder. Kick the butt out just a little bit more. And in. Out. Squeeze the shoulder blades together because it is a posture exercise. Out. Bring it in. Set the weights down. Set one. Done. That was a lot of upper body on that one. That was meant to be, by the way. Mix it up a little bit, but work the muscles through the upper body. Switch off from one to the other. Give them a chance to rest just a little bit, but not completely. So there's still a little under tension from the previous time you did it. So you're tightening up just a little more, breaking down those muscles like you want to do. Next, military press. Got about 10 seconds left. Keep the legs going. Stretch out the arms. Whenever you get a break like this, you can just side to side, roll the shoulders. Really important. Just kind of let the shoulders come forward. Let the muscles relax. Take some deep breaths. All right. Elbows out, shoulder blades back. Up and back down. So going up to the top, it's overrated. You just go up as high as you can. Stop. Keeping the shoulder blades back. And here's the key is when you come down. Elbows are right straight out, 90 degrees at the elbow. Upper arm parallel with the floor. That's working that shoulder the entire time. You go up and you come back down. A lot of times people just let it drop and then go back up. Again, try it. There's nothing to it. It's so easy. You can use much lighter weight as long as you maintain the form, and you can get all the work out of the exercise without putting so much strain on the joints. Up and back. Shoulder blades stay back. Super important. You want those shoulders in a straight line. Again, don't let yourself fold. Don't let the shoulders come in. Keep them back. Up. Last one. Back down. And all the way down. Palms out. A little bit of a hip hinge. So we want skier on this, or the skier stance on this one. Feet hip width apart. Pushing the butt back. It's a hip hinge, but you're much narrower stance. Palms forward, shoulders back. So it's that external rotation. This you really want. You're going to feel it. If you stop here compared to if you bring it all the way around, that's what you're going to feel on the outside of that arm. You're working that muscle along with the shoulder blades. Squeeze them together and back out. Make sure you've got that curve in the lower part of the back. You don't have to come down to a tabletop. As low as you can go is what matters. We started 5 seconds ago. I did at least. And back down. Up. I didn't say go. I was giving you 5 extra seconds of break there. Up into the hips and back down. Elbows stay low on this one. So they're down right around the hips as you come up. Don't bring them up straight toward the chest. You want the weights to come right in at the hips. Squeeze it in and back out again. Shoulder blades are doing the work. Tight. And back down. Up. Make sure those palms are still pointed out. Pointed stick. Up. And back down. Stand it up. Getting a good workout today. I'm getting a good workout today. All right. Next one we're doing is reverse fly. So going into stagger, arms out, shoulder blades back, squeeze it, and forward, little bend in the elbows. Make sure you're not swinging them out, down and back. This is stop about a quarter of the way as you're coming back, so you can still feel the pressure on the shoulders, shoulder blades. Squeeze them back. keeping the back straight as you do it, and then release. How far down you go really is dictated by your shoulders, what they'll do. Higher up you stand, the less stress it is on the shoulders. You don't get quite as much out of it, but you're still getting a lot of work on those muscles between the shoulder blades, those rhomboids and those trapezoids. So down, squeeze, and back. Elbow is bent, but elbow does not hinge. There's no movement anywhere but through the shoulder blades. Up, squeeze it, and back down. Exhale as you go into that contraction. Every exercise, you want to make sure that you're blowing the air out right there when you're squeezing it together. The other thing is that works the core. To get the air out of the lungs, the core has to tighten up. To get it out like that, to get the full exhale. And back down. 2 more. Squeeze. And down, last one. Bring it back. Hold them tight. All right. Next one we're going to do is a sumo. Sumo squat. 1 or 2 weights, it's up to you. What we're going to do is come down, weights between, so you can either hold neutral grip, palms facing each other, or a single weight, one down. Here's the key. This is going to be a pulse. So you come down, butts right, straight back. As you come down, you don't want the knees to go forward. You want the butt to go out, knees stay over the ankles. And then it's a sitting down, chest is out. We're going to do little pulses here. Down, up, stop, back down, back up. Knees don't move from above the ankles. And you're really going to feel it. You're squeezing those glutes, inner thighs to get back up, down, and up. So there's that little bit of a roll as you're coming up, driving the hips in, and then back out again. So this works a different set of muscles in the back of the legs. As you're doing that, 5 seconds in. Exhale as you come up. Inhale as you go down. Roll, push right straight up, feet flat on the floor, driving through the back half of the foot. So don't let the feet roll out as you do this, and don't let the knees go forward. Everything is in the hips. Hips go back, hips come up. Out. 10 seconds. And up. 2 more. With this one, you really don't even need weights. You're putting so much energy into making sure that you're tightening those muscles up to drive the hips forward. The weight's nice, but it's as an isometric just by itself. It's really good. It is really good. All right. What are we doing next? Right here. We're going to take a break. Shoulder blades are back. Elbows next to the torso. You stay right out here. 45 seconds. Isometric, keeping those muscles front of the upper arm, those biceps muscles nice and tight. They got to work the whole time. Elbows in and forward. Shoulder blades back. And just hold there. That's all there is to it. It's like holding a plank. If you're on the floor doing a plank. Or if you were just holding a piece of wood in your hands. Up. Keep a little bend in the knees. Nothing moves here. Core's tight. Squeeze the glutes. Get that pelvic tilt while you're in here. Just like doing a plank. So get the butt up. Squeeze. Core's nice and tight. As you're holding in here. Feel the muscles start to tense up in the upper arms like they want to quit working. You got 5 seconds left. Don't let them. 3, 2, 1. And down. 2 left. We get another break. You're like, already? Are you kidding? Why do we need another break? We just got started. It's the right thing to do. All right. Elbows back. Triceps kick back again. But it's a pulse. Keep the arms back as far as you can. Up and up. Up and up. So you're not letting them come down here. You're keeping those elbows out. Keeping the weights with a little bit. You get that angle in there on the arms. You can alternate. Or you can do them both. Squeeze, hold for 1 second, back down. Up and back down, barely down. So it's giving them just a little bit of a break. Let's start by coming down that 2 inches. Takes the tension off them a little bit. You're not squeezing so hard back there, but you are holding up there for 2 seconds if you can, and then back down. So it's up. Don't lock the elbow out. Especially with this one, it's really easy to Get that elbow all the way out, arms straight. You want a little bend in that elbow. Make the muscles do the work around the joint, not the joint, because it's not made for that. It's made to move. It's not a weight bearer. Up and back down. Shoulders back. Keep that back straight while you're doing this. Pulse and down. Should feel this in the back of the upper arms. Those triceps should be burning right now. Bring it down. Give them a break. The other place you should have felt that is up in the top of the back. Again, those posture muscles. Because the whole time you're back here, the shoulder blades are back at the same time because every exercise is a posture exercise. Next, last one. Front raise. Palms in, arms by the sides. We're going to alternate up, stopping when the arm's parallel to the floor, and up. So, which one is better for you? Up to you. Palms down and bringing it up. Palms in. This one's easier on the shoulder when you got the palms in that neutral grip. You've got less rotation on the shoulders as you're doing the work. Shoulder blades have to stay back though. Again, protecting that front of the shoulder from pinching. All right, here we go. Up. Here's another way. You want to advance it just a little bit. Keep one arm up and let the other one go down. And how far down it goes is another adjustment. There are so many modifications you could make when you're doing an exercise. You need to make it a little easier. Bend the elbows a little bit more. Up and back down. The farther that weight is away from the body, harder the muscles have to work. Up. Again, alternate idling at the top and up. So you don't really need to use heavier weights when you do these exercises. They're just ways to do it that you can modify to make it more intense without putting that extra strain on the joints. Down and up, both down and come up here. Give the shoulders a break. You're done with that. You're done with that set. That was set 2. 2 sets in 1. We got one more to go yet. First one we're going to do next. So this one's a little harder. You may want to use weights on this one, or you're going to want to use the lightest weight you have. Arms are out with a little bend in them. Shoulder blades are back, forcing that out. What you're going to do is bring the shoulder blades together, elbows back and back out. That's a hard one. If any pain at all on this one, because you're doing this external rotation, rolling the shoulders back, and then bringing them behind you at the same time, that may be too much. Then don't use weights. Just put your arms out to the side, bring the shoulder blades together, squeeze them. You don't need weights for any exercise. You really don't. You can do them isometric with just tightening those muscles up, clenching the muscles, contracting everything, and then back out again. So it's up to you what you want to do with this one. The other thing you can do, palms forward, or you can just come down. So you can bring them up at a diagonal. All sorts of things you can do with this. I'm going without the weights. This will probably be the last time we ever do this exercise. Palms up, shoulder blades back. Squeeze the elbows back. And out. Exhale. Get that chest out. What's really important here is that the shoulder blades are down and you bring those arms in and you can feel this all the way from the middle of the back up to the neck. It's a great exercise for that. Squeeze and back out again. Palms forward and do it. And squeeze them together. A little less stress on the shoulders. In and back out. Up. Squeeze. And out. 10 seconds. And back. Should feel this all the way through. Going the shoulders outside that deltoid, outside deltoid. And the upper back. Traps and rhomboids. Pulling those shoulder blades. Elbows in. Arms down. Shake that out. You will never see that exercise again. Single leg deadlift. One weight or another. Arm on the side of the back leg in a kickstand. So coming up on the ball of the foot as much as you can, not going into the toes, on the ball of the foot. That's where the weight should be. Again, toes are like joints. They're not made to bear weight. They're made to move and hold you upright for balance. You're going to go into a hip hinge here, weight down, stop at the bottom, and push through that heel and come back up again to full standing. Working the core because you've only got one weight. The body's going to want to twist as you come up because it's going to have to work extra hard to bring that other arm up. There's more resistance on that side. So you have to work the core and through the heel to bring that weight up. Pushing down. You're ready. Down. Knees over the ankle. Back is straight. Up you come. Squeeze that shoulder blade back. Again, hip hinge. Down. Butt goes back. Knee stays over the ankle. And then up, pushing through the heel with the elbow back. And down. Don't have to go very far. You should be feeling this in the hamstrings, back of the thighs, and in the glutes, the butt, on that front leg. And up. Squeeze it. 10 seconds left. Down. Take your time with this. Feel the stretch in the hamstrings just a little bit before you come up. Squeeze it in. And we're good on that side. We're going to go to the other side. It's that balance in all things thing that we're doing. So find your neutral first, feet parallel. I have to watch the monitor every time to make sure that my feet are straight. There we go. Shoulder blades back, coming right straight down. To the knee, again, push the butt out, drive through the heel of that front leg, keeping the entire foot on the floor. Toes gripping is the word I'm looking for. The ground and up. Knee stays exactly where it is. What you don't want when you come up is for that knee to straighten up. Then you're using the quadriceps. We need to work this back chain because we don't get that all the time. And up. Hips out. Push it. Bring it back. And one more time. Straight down in that hip hinge. And back up. Again, I've said this before, it's one of the hardest things I've seen that people do is that this hip hinging over that front leg is a real challenge for a lot of people. And I'm not sure why. I'm not sure what happens there. You really want to work on keeping the shoulder blades back, chest out. You're not going to hurt the knee. You're not going to hurt the back as long as you stay in neutral and the knee stays over the ankle. And then come back up again. Butt out, butt in. All right. Next, squats. Squats. That's it. Feet hip width apart. Arms at the sides. Knees go forward just a little bit to give the shin a little bit of an angle to it. And then the chest comes up, kind of rolling those hips underneath. And then driving up, bringing the butt in. It's an arc. It's an arc that you're doing. Butts out, knees and the lower leg, torso both angled, rolling the hip underneath, and then just driving straight up through the foot and back in. All the work is in the back half of the foot, and you're going to feel the quadriceps really engaged to get you up on this one. And to the top without locking the knees. Again, you don't want to lock those joints out. See if you can get just a little bit lower and come up. One thing you want to guard against on this one is don't let yourself just fall on top of the thighs. They shouldn't ever really touch. If you can get away with it, you're better off just going down a little ways and not laying on top of it, but keeping that form of torso and shins in the same plane and coming right back up again. You're going to feel it so much more in those quadriceps. Two more. Down, roll, and push up. Last one. Stop, roll, and drive. We did it. Lateral lunge. This is another one I really like. We're going to get the weight apart. So dynamic lateral lunge, stepping out to the side, switching sides, or weight shift, keeping the legs out, doing the same thing, still lateral lunge. Knee stays over the ankle, butt goes back. But the legs stay right here instead of moving back and forth. That gets into a balance thing. Works the outside of the hips too, but I really like this weight shift instead. It's a lot less stress on the joints. So you're coming down, lead leg, knee bends with the butt back, drive through the foot flat on the floor, bringing the hips in, down on the other side. and push up. Again, don't use the thigh, the quadriceps. Use the hamstring. Squeeze the glutes. Bring that hip out in a hip thrust. And back. Switching sides. Nice and slow. Take your time. Up to the top. Squeeze. Get that hip out just a little bit. So you're not forcing the hip way out. You just want to feel yourself in a nice tight position right here before you come down on the other side. Again, don't let yourself twist. Torso twisting, real common on this one, or knee out to the side. Strengthen those muscles up around the knee, ankle and hips by forcing that alignment, holding the muscles tight. One more time. Each side, down, and push up. Last one, down, and up. Weights down. Let's go to the mat. We're going to the mat. Take your weights with you because it is a strength class. Worked a lot of muscle groups today. Hit all of them at least twice. And again, we did it. We went back to them while the muscles were still a little tight, a little more engaged from the previous exercise, but not back to back. Gives us the most chance to build the muscle up without hurting ourselves. And we're going on the floor and we're going on our back. Starting with the chest press. All right, some modifications here. Whatever you do, lower back has to stay on the floor or whatever you've got underneath your back so that you can get that lower back down, stabilized to get something semi-solid that's going to stop you from rolling from side to side. It's as much a cue that you feel the weight evenly distributed across the hips as it is holding you there. It's more to prevent yourself from going side to side because you could feel if you do distribute the weight from one side or the other. All right, arms up. Knees can be up if you want, or you can go out all the way. That works the core harder. Up to you, whichever one works. We're going to take it to the next step on the next time we do these. But the first one's going to be, we're going to idle at the top. One arm down, elbow out, back up, squeeze the outside of the chest as you come up. So it's up, keeping that elbow bent, down, so you don't go all the way and extend it out. But you get to that elbow to a certain point and you're squeezing the muscle in the front of the chest to lift that shoulder up just a little bit. Hold it there. Keep those muscles tight. Up and squeeze. And on the other side, out to the side. Bring it up. So you're not in a neutral grip here. If that's hurting your shoulders at all, then palms facing each other instead of out. Without that rotation through the shoulder, it makes it a lot easier. I should say it's less stressful on the shoulder. Let me put it that way. It's not easier. Down and up, squeeze that chest. You want to feel this right underneath the shoulder in those pec minors on the outside of the chest. Down, idling at the top, keeping those muscles tense with a little bend in the elbow. Don't lock it out and just let it lay up there. Use the muscles in the arms to hold it right there. And squeeze one more time each side. Down and up. And last one. Bring it up, squeeze it, and down. Next. Skull crushers. So again, here we go. One weight I'm going to use. You can do two weights, palms facing, down and back up again. I'm going to single weight. I want to focus on the elbows facing right up, straight line, shoulder, elbow, ceiling. So when you bring that weight up, you're only going to get part way up. You're not going to get the weight over the chest. You want the elbows over the chest. It's an arc. Elbows stay right where they are and in, right over the shoulders. And arms up, squeeze at the top. So you're coming down, elbows in, elbows up. Feel the muscles working the back of the arms. When you keep those elbows in, that engages the triceps like they're supposed to be. And up. So normally elbows flare out, and then we're using the chest to help get the weights up, or the trapezoids. When you get to the top, little snap it up at the top, not snapping the elbow into being straight, But just get it up there so you can feel those muscles tighten up in the back of the upper arms. And down. We're 20 seconds in. Elbows to the ceiling. Bring it up. Squeeze. And back down. Lower back stays on the floor while you're doing this. One more time. Down and up. That was fun. Next one. Glute bridge. Right here. Weights on the hips. Heels up, in toward the butt. Working on rolling the hips. So the first thing we do, squeeze the lower abs, roll the hips up, bring that lower back up off the floor, bringing the tailbone, then the lower back. Once you get that lower back up off the floor, you start squeezing the glutes to drive the hips up to the ceiling. And then reverse that. Let up on the glutes just a little bit. Don't put the weight into the heels of the feet. We want to work the glutes, not the hamstrings. We got those earlier. All right, here we go. Up. Roll the hip first. Squeeze the core, then the glutes. And back down again. We go slow so you can really concentrate on hitting those right muscles. The other thing is make sure the knees, hips, and ankles are all in alignment. Don't let the knees flare out or in. And back down again. We're strengthening the muscles up. Down the legs, protecting the knees, protecting the hips, all those joints. Ankles too. Toto 2. And back down. 2 more. Squeeze, butt up. And back down. Last one. So you should be feeling this in the glutes, not the back of the thighs. Roll it up. Tighten the glutes, push them up. And back down again. Good one. All right, pullovers. Pullovers are next. I really like pullovers. A little bend in the elbows, palms in. Again, single weight if you want. And experiment with this one. Single weight, holding the ends, the bells on the weight, or 2 weights, palms facing each other, or 2 weights, palms facing out. Make sure you're not twisting or letting that wrist go soft. Knuckles are pointed right away from you, completely away from you. We're coming down with that little bend in the elbows, lower back's on the floor. I've got 2 legs down to brace the lower back, squeezing those lower abs. Stop before you hit the ground and shoulder blades down. Nice and slow coming back up again. Stop when you're over the forehead. If you come all the way up, you're taking the pressure off of those lats, which we're trying to work. Legs extended. You have to work the core a little bit harder here. And if you're using heavy weights, you may pull that lower back up off the floor. Be really careful of that. If you do, get a leg up to brace. So go into crook position with one of the legs. Down. Stop before they hit the floor. Roll the shoulder blades down. Squeeze that lower back into the floor. When you do that, shoulder blades down, lower back into the floor, you should feel work from the hips all the way through to the fingertips. Up, through the chest, upper back, through the arms. Excuse me, back out. 2 more. Squeeze, bring it up. 1 more time. Again, these are working the muscles on the outside of the back. Those lat muscles. Up, hold, and down. Whew. 2 weights yet. 1 last. We don't have time. Put the weights down. We were going to just do the chest again anyway, which we've gotten. Arms up, legs up, in a crook position, arms right over the shoulders. Just let the arms flail, flare, flail. Just let them fall to the outside. Relax them. Up over the head, sweeping. Back of the hands against the floor. As high as you can go. We're really hitting the muscles in the last 2 exercises we just did with that sweep. So those might be really tight. Take your time getting up there. Really relax it. Take some deep breaths. That always helps. And then arms back down, palms facing toward the feet as you come to the bottom. Going the rest of the way that way, bringing the hands right next to the hips. Again, as you go back up, roll the palms onto the floor. Sorry, back of the hands onto the floor. Up to the top. That's a good trick if you can get the hands on the floor. And the palms, bring it back down. Up over the top. Going to a seated position. Shoulders back, arms back. Let's stretch out the chest. Again, on the floor, we did a couple that really got into the chest hard. So we want to make sure shoulder blades are back, chest is out. Take some deep breaths. Hands are just a kickstand, keeping the shoulder blades back, arching that lower part of the back. And a couple deep breaths. You don't need to go crazy here. It's just nice and relaxing. This is relaxing. And down into a rotation. Right knee up, left arm outside, left leg wherever you want it. Shoulder blades are back, chest is out. If you can get that, if you can get that little bit of rotation in there and get that leg in towards the other one, that's perfect. Just make sure you're holding your form though. Shoulder blades are back, chest is out. Don't let yourself twist to try to get that leg underneath. But any movement you can get on the outside is going to help stretch the outer part of that hip, but you may not be able to do it. And bring it back, other side. Same thing. What am I doing? Got it. Roll the shoulder blades back and rotate. Shoulders stay parallel with the floor. Around, no lower back. This is all middle of the back up. And around. We should stand up. Let us get up. Let us do that. Grab a drink of water. While you're up here, we're on the floor for quite a bit. I gave us some time down there. Shake the arms out. I want to get to the arms. Fingers intertwined. Please don't miss this one. It's really important. This one is really important for stretching the arms out because it does a really nice job of getting biceps, triceps, forearms, wrists, and fingers. Just this one exercise right here. It's a great stretch for all of the arm. Bring it down on the side. Now you're going to feel it through the rib cage as well as that shoulder. Deep breath in. Use that top hand to pull you up. And if you can't get the palms all the way around, don't worry about it. Just get them as much as you can. And little by little, you'll be able to turn those all the way. You want to keep that stretch through the wrists, through the fingers. You don't want to lose that mobility of the fingers. Bring the arms down. Shake that out. We're going to bring the elbows back. Bringing the fingers together if you can. Again, just as close as you can get. Rolling the shoulder blades back, stretching out the chest. Going to go into a cat, pushing the butt back, hands on the thighs, roll the shoulder blades to the floor, feel the stretch all the way up the back. Roll the shoulder blades back, push the stomach down toward the floor, feel the stretch to the chest as you do this one instead of the upper back. Deep breath in, push the stomach out, exhale, squeezing the core will drive that back up into a curve. Again, deep breath, use the air to get in there to give you a little extra stretch. Exhale, going into the cow. And bring it back up to the top. Shake that out. One of those things. Down, arms across, reach all the way. Roll the hips underneath, bring the arms up. Shoulder blades are back as you bring the arms up. Deep breath in through the nose, forcing the stomach out, then drive all the air out of the lungs, especially in a strength class where you broke off a whole lot of muscle. Getting into the lungs, you've got to get it out of there. Up, over the top, deep breath in through the nose. Stomach out, getting the air into the lower part of the lungs, and exhale, get it all out. And we're good. Thanks, guys, for being here. I really appreciate it. Hope to see you again next week. Thank you so much.